The demo reel is the be-all, end-all of importance for you as an actor. It's outrageously important and stuff. And I go, well, let me look at your material. So I go to his IMDb page. No photo. No photo on his IMDb page, no still shots, no poster shots, no demo. And I'm like, you're asking to not have a career. So if you want me to get into business today, we're going to get into business. Like every single agent I spoke to. So the agents I spoke to this week were New York, Atlanta, Toronto, LA, and Vancouver. And so that pretty much covers, well, North America. And each one of them were like, demo, IMDb, into an audition. Right before walking into the audition, if you're in the pro audition world, you'll notice wherever you are in the world, the casting director has a laptop in front of her or in front of him, or a computer. And right before you walked in, they're typing in your IMDb, and then they're showing it to the director, or they're showing your reel. Or when you walk out, the director goes, I wonder if she's capable of, or what else has she done, or what else, what other range does she have, or da-da-da. And then the casting director does this, and they watch your demo, which is why there's like a 3-minute, 4-minute lag before they bring the next person in. They're not just making phone calls and eating pizza and talking about, Donald Trump. They're like, they're studying your work. And so if you don't have a demo, then they can't, then the odds are then they have to take a chance on hiring, because you can be a really skilled actor and you can know who you are, but I can't hire you unless I know who you are. In other words, I have to be able to test drive the product. You can't just tell me that you're a really fast and comfortable little red car. I have to go test drive it. And the way we test drive product in our industry is demo reel.
How could you guys not tell me I was your duff? Or what? Your designated ugly fat friend? Yeah, Wesley told me everything. Since when do you care what Wesley Bush says? Because it makes sense. Why else would two super hot, popular girls want to hang out with somebody like me?
Christina Krivici is a phenomenal actor who's been working really hard and is a great actor. She's also extremely versatile. So she does breakdown crying scenes. She plays all sorts of possibilities, but she stayed very, very close to her brand, which is kind of like cool, foul-mouthed, underdog, very downtown, tattooed, like kind of little girl who acts like a tough chick. Like that's kind of her brand. And so you can see it so incredibly specific what she's selling. So you watch that and you go, oh, that's so good. None of that is professional material. There's a real trick to it, which I really, really like, which is part of the reason why I wanted to show it to you, which is if you pay attention.
How could you guys not tell me I was your duff? Or what? Your designated.
It's only 3 scenes. So the whole thing is 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which is great. Coming in under 3 minutes on a demo reel is excellent, because nobody's going to watch more than 3 minutes. So 3 minutes keeps me watching. That first scene is a tad long, but it's so funny. And her secondary cast, which is Samantha and Laura, are hilarious. And the end on this button.
Instagram. Oh, hallelujah, okay? I don't have to look at pictures of your artisanal cappuccinos every morning.
So that little at the end is so great. So there's this kind of current in that scene. I don't know if they wrote that scene. Do you know where that scene comes from? It doesn't matter. It's just fabulous. And it just moves. And then we fall into this. Now, watch this scene.
Guitar working out.
Oh, the guitar. Yeah.
Mae Whitman on Parenthood is like almost a spot on, you know who that is? A spot on comparison pitch for her in kind of style type, voice, body type, the whole thing. This is actually a scene from Parenthood, and there's just an absolute unending number of amazing scenes from Mae Whitman from Parenthood online. So she went and she found this scene. Now, if you're paying close attention to the scene,
and I don't want it. So if you want it, you should probably take it back, or I'm going to sell it. Amber,
that's
you don't,
one
okay?
shot of
you don't
her.
Have to be real.
She set up her people. That's one shot facing her with her father behind
which,
her.
Is something that everybody who knows me knows.
Amber.
No, you can't just waltz in.
And then what happens is on the third act, she switches, and then they just move the camera around, and there's that camera's got a piece of him. You can see that piece of his arm on the right hand of the frame. So what they've done is that's 2 different shots, but there's no editing involved, because it's all her on one side, all her on this side, and we never cut to anybody else. And then the third act is the emotional act.
Just like
And in the
buy
emotional
us a
act,
burger and give me a crappy guitar and think that everything's going to be fine again, you know? And I guess it works on everybody but me. I guess that I'm the only person who has a problem with it. But I'm sorry, but I can't forget the fact that you didn't come to my birthdays like you promised that you would. And you didn't take me out all the times that you said you were going to. And you were not there for me when I really needed you. I'm not.
and just when she's about to crack and cry, and just when she's about to have a breakdown, we cut back to another kind of funny scene with a tougher chick. So we get comedy, drama, comedy, right? It's comedy, drama, comedy. And then in the drama, we have two shots of it. So it's actually almost like two different scenes, her being tough and then her being vulnerable. And then we end with her now being funny but in charge. So if your demo reel looks unprofessional, then don't put it out there. I don't know what you're doing, selling your, like, it's kind of like, yeah, I have a great car, but I'm not going to have you test drive this great car. I want you to test drive my 1978 Toyota with one tire. Like, it should look outrageously good. However, it does not need to be professional. There's no rule anywhere saying you can't put something that's not professional in your demo reel. A demo reel is a demo reel. It's demonstrating your ability to act. But it should look professional because you're trying to press yourself as a professional person. So that show reel that Christina had there, all of that she shot in one day. And all of that is shot by her friends, Stefano. But all of that looks like it could be on TV. That's great. That's how she's going to get work. If you could create an audition reel, if you wanted, which is like 30-second tastes of 5 different pro auditions that you've done. But that's not a demo reel. A demo reel is, or a show reel is what you look like in professional circumstances and selling your product best. But I don't know, I've never heard of a casting director or a director going, well, that's not actually the show. Like, they don't care. They're trying to, I don't put titles. Some people do. I don't think it's important. I have a resume. They can go look at the resume. I don't think that the producers or casting people or directors are impressed or wowed by what projects you did. Mostly, they just want to see what your feel and your take is. So I don't think you necessarily have to title. I've seen it done beautifully, and I myself don't worry about it. One of my favorite demo reels, Christoph's. So we're gonna watch this. Who also shoots demo reels. This one has titles.
Pledge your allegiance to Konstantin Saranin as your alpha.
My alpha is Elena Michaels.
Which brings me to my number one first note about your demo reel. Scenes on a demo reel have zero to do with narrative. We as actors love narrative and we love story, and we find it very hard to cut in or cut out in a scene because we're like, well, but the scene doesn't make any sense. But really, the scene doesn't need to make any sense whatsoever. There really doesn't need to be that big an arc. And primarily is that we're getting a taste of your acting and your quality. I want to go, this guy can act. I see what he looks like. And, oh, I get the sense of his persona, of his personality, of his authentic, true self, his quality that he brings to his work. If the whole demo reel itself has an arc, that's really good. And that is created by you in the edit and the choice of which scenes go in which direction. Scene order becomes incredibly important. Like, what are you selling? Also, tempo is really important. So my next big note would be tempo of your demo reel. Christina's tempo was excellent. I found that Christoph's tempo dies on that one scene. So you don't want a producer or a casting director, they're going to devote 90 seconds. And if you can hold them for 3 minutes, that'd be wicked. If your first minute and a half is some languorous kind of like plotting scene which shows off your emotional depth, but I don't really like, it's just, we're out. It's just, it should move. And it's not there's nothing negative about that. It's not like people's attention spans are short or anything. It's just, we're trying to we're test driving. If I'm test driving a Volkswagen, I don't have to drive it to Seattle and back to know that it's a good car. I take it around the block. I go, yeah, I get it. So we just got to get a feel for it. So the next rule would be, don't have anything on the reel that contradicts the brand. And that's really hard. And I would say that's one of the biggest notes I give to people. I've got drama, I've got emotion, I've got comedy, and I've got tough ass chick. They're different circumstances, but it's the same character in each one. Like your demo reel, I should be seeing, I'm gonna grab a name, Jess Sutton. I have to see Jess Sutton's quality. Yeah, in one she could be at her mom's funeral, and the other one she's drunk and laughing with her friends, and then at the third one she's at a job interview, and that, you know, like they can be different circumstances, and it can be drama and comedy, and it can be different aspects of, but she's always going to be Jess Sutton. Don't suddenly show up in a red wig. One of my actresses in Toronto, it's not you, Deanna, she and I were studying her demo reel. And the very first, she was on Rain, the TV show. And so her very first shot was her on Rain, which is great. Cause you know, it's a big TV show and it's shot beautifully and everything. But like, she's a blonde woman, and she was in this red wig. And the other woman, who's the lead on Rain, has the exact same blonde hair that she has in real life. So I spent the first minute of her demo reel trying to figure out which one she was. It was so odd. And so in the end, I was like, you know, it's your biggest credit and your acting's great, and cut it. Just dump it from your reel. Because it's so freaking confusing. It's so against brand. If you guys are building your demos because you're trying to create product that looks professional, like the couple examples we looked at, then you choose the material. So for God's sakes, go find material that feels like it was written for you. That material felt like it was written for Christina. That first one might have been written for Christina. But you know, after a long time, I'm like, Mae Whitman Parenthood, that's like your perfect comparison pitch. Dig into Mae Whitman's stuff, find a scene that feels like it was written for Christina, you know? And then find the scene that sits at 45 seconds maybe, and cut in, cut out, put it together, and think about your final demo reel, and think about how you want to sell a narrative and in what order you're going to put them in before you go create it. And then drop your $500 and go create it. Should you do a comedic and a dramatic reel? Yeah, I have a comedic and a dramatic reel, the two different reels. And then I have a third reel, which is my mixed. That's because I'm in the fortunate position of having done this for over 2 decades. So I got lots of material. But when you're first starting out, I think you don't just focus on one really good reel. And crazy as it is, 3 minutes to like 5 minutes is long. 6 minutes is really long. 3 minute reel is the way to go. Do something that's going to blow your brand, stick it at the end. So we're able to go, oh, and be surprised at the end. But lead with what, assume that the producer's director, agent, whoever you're trying to get this to, is only going to look at the first 30 seconds, or they're only going to look at the very first scene. Make sure that you're selling who you are to them on the top down. So you know how you've got your comedy and your drama reel? We were just talking about that, Tim. You could have your straight and raunchy reel. You could actually have a reel that's like your Hallmark reel, your Disney Channel reel, and then my more gritty reel. That'd be fine. I'd buy that, and I would suggest that in her case. So I might actually contact her and tell her that. Demo reel, brief and with a tempo. So 3 to 5 minutes, and it moves. It can't lag. Second is it's giving me a message about the person. I don't know, the second and third, these are just coming to my head, but has to look professional looking. It can be done intelligently the way Christina's did, which is professional looking, but it's not actually edited. It just feels edited. It's got to be on point. It's got to hold my interest. It should show a range in your acting ability, emotionally, comedic to drama. but it should stay very clear to the message of who is this person and why am I hiring them. And then it should be on your IMDb page. You should have a YouTube channel. You should send it out to your friends. You should get it out. You have to make sure that your agent has it, and your agent should be sending it to casting people and producers. Make sure that it's accessible. Eventually, you should have a website, and you should make sure that it's on the website.